The water barely moves tonight, smooth as crystal under stars. Every ripple catches moonlight like tiny silver scars. Seagulls cry beyond the harbor, then disappear into the haze. And the shoreline stretches endless through blue and violet shades. I left my shoes beside the boardwalk, cold sand underneath my feet. The ocean feels like breathing slowly, somewhere vast and incomplete. You used to love these midnight beaches, bonfires glowing near the tide, laughing while the salt wind tangled every loose strand by your eyes. Glass ocean, holding every shattered dream, like reflections drifting softly across invisible seas. Glass ocean, quiet underneath the sky, turning lonely little memories into tides that never die. The lighthouse spins across the distance, slow white circles through the dark. Every beam feels like it's searching for the missing parts of hearts. I still remember rainy summers, windows fogging in your car. You would sing against the thunder like storms couldn't leave scars. Now every coastline feels much colder, every wave sounds incomplete, and every seashell on the shoreline feels like something trying to speak. Glass ocean after midnight glows beneath the falling blue, like the universe reflecting every thought I have of you. Glass ocean near the horizon, where the sky and water blend, teaching restless souls how endings quietly become beginnings again. Maybe somewhere near another harbor you still wander after dark, still trace circles in the wet sand while old songs drift through parked cars. I tried escaping all the memories inside louder, crowded towns, but grief sounds softer by the ocean and somehow deeper when it calms down. The moon tonight hangs over the water, huge against the endless sea, and suddenly the entire coastline feels emotionally attached to me. Glass ocean before the sunrise, softly turning into gold, like a secret slowly waking after nights too cold to hold. Glass ocean still moves within me long after the tide rolls out. Maybe certain loves become eternal the moment they drift without doubt. Morning light spills through the harbor, fishing boats begin to leave. Still your shadow walks beside me, like miscarried by the sea breeze. If you ever hear this anthem floating through the coastal blue, know my glass ocean with you. Those dances through the bedroom sunlight, like tiny planets drifting slow. The morning feels unusually quiet since you packed your things and chose to go. There's a coffee stain beside the notebook where you used to write your songs. Now the pages sit untouched for weeks, like they forgot where they belong. The house breathes differently without you, pipes humming underneath the floor. Even shadows seem uncertain about what they're waiting for. I watered all the dying flowers you left beside the kitchen sink. Funny how abandoned gardens still survive more than we think. Hollow bloom growing through the cracks in me, like fragile branches learning slowly how to reach for light again. Pieces of a heart. Rain taps lightly on the windows, gray skies folding over town. Children laugh somewhere beyond the alley while the leaves keep falling down. I remember autumn train rides, your headphones tangled up in mine. You'd fall asleep against my shoulder as cities blurred into lines. Now every station feels unfamiliar, every platform colder somehow, and every passing stranger's face looks temporary to me now. Across my restless mind, like vines climbing through old buildings people slowly leave behind. Hollow bloom beside the silence learns the shape of empty space, like healing isn't disappearing pain, but carrying it with grace. Maybe somewhere near the mountains you still read before you sleep, still underline your favorite sentences when emotions cut too deep. I tried forcing myself forward into louder crowded scenes, but sadness moves in quiet patterns, not dramatic movie screens. The moon tonight hangs pale above me, blurred behind the drifting rain, and suddenly the whole world feels tender in a different way. Hollow bloom before the sunrise, softly turning into gold, like a bruise finally fading after being held too long. Hollow bloom still grows within living on. Morning birds begin their chorus, wind moves softly through the trees till your memory passes gently like perfume carried by the breeze. If you ever hear this anthem floating through the quiet blue, know my soul kept growing flowers from the hollow left by you. Streetlights flicker on the river, purple reflections stretching wide. The city feels half underwater after midnight on the west side. A broken billboard near the freeway buzzes softly in the rain, while strangers disappear like shadows inside late night subway trains. You used to call me from the rooftop just to hear the traffic hum, saying lonely people sounded beautiful when the whole world went numb. Your silhouette beneath the neon still lives somewhere in my mind, like a photograph developing too slowly to leave behind. Midnight halo glowing softly over you, like the moon wrapped itself around your shoulders every time the city turned blue. Midnight halo burning through the sleepless haze, turning every passing second into memories that stay. The synthesizers drift like ocean waves through the walls of my apartment room. Every note uncovers pieces of conversations lost too soon. I still remember hotel elevators, your lipstick stain upon my collar, the way your laughter filled the silence like something nobody could borrow. Now every avenue feels endless, every traffic light too bright, and every crowded room reminds me how absence changes light. Midnight halo after midnight hangs above the avenue, like a distant constellation only visible with you. Midnight halo in the rainstorm paints reflections on the cars, making lonely downtown windows look like tiny falling stars. Maybe somewhere near Chicago you still dance through neon bars, still wear silver boots in winter, still disappear before the dark. I try drowning out your memory with louder nights and stranger names, but longing hides inside the quiet after all the noise decays. The moon tonight above the skyline looks enormous through my soul still walks forever inside the midnight halo of you. Snow gathers softly on the staircase, silver lining every step. The world outside looks untouched, like it's holding one long breath. There's frost painting quiet patterns across the corners of the glass, and candlelight keeps trembling gently, like it's frightened of the past. Your wool coat still hangs beside the doorway, a shadow stitched in navy blue. Funny how an empty hallway can still feel completely full of you. The radiator hums in rhythm, low beneath the midnight storm, while distant church bells drift like ghosts across the sleeping northern fjord. Arctic roses blooming through the winter white, fragile little fires growing where the cold erased the light. Winds that blow. I remember train rides through December, fog wrapped tightly around the tracks. You'd sketch mountains on the windows while the sky slowly turned black. Your fingertips were always freezing, no matter how tight I held your hands. Yet somehow every touch between us still felt warmer than the summer sands. Now the city feels suspended, street lamps glowing amber gold. Every stranger wrapped in scarves tonight maybe somewhere near the tundra. You still walk before the dawn, still leave steaming cups beside the window long after the dark moves on. I tried escaping all the memories inside brighter southern towns, but grief followed like winter weather, crossing every border. Beautiful. white. No, my soul still keeps blooming where Arctic roses meet the night. The engine hums beneath the darkness, miles away from any town. Dust storms twisting near the headlights, like ghosts trying to slow us down. Neon diner in the distance flashes red against the black. Somewhere Elvis plays through static, on a station fading fast. You're asleep beside the window, leather boots against the dash. Moonlight spills across your face like silver caught inside cracked glass. There's gasoline and coffee lingering inside this worn-out Chevrolet, and every highway sign behind us feels farther every mile away. Desert hearts running wild beneath the stars, like two outlaws made of loneliness inside runaway cars. Desert hearts burning through the canyon winds, trying to outrun old memories that always catch us in the end. Stopped outside a tiny motel, vacancy sign buzzing blue. You laughed while rain hit the pavement like the sky was breaking too. Inside the room smelled like cigarettes, cheap perfume and faded sheets. You traced circles on my shoulder while thunder rolled across the heat. Now every desert town feels haunted by versions of us left behind, like every road we ever traveled still loops somewhere inside my mind. Desert hearts after midnight be louder than the radio. Every lonely song feels written for the things we'll never know. Desert hearts beneath the mazes glow against the empty land, like campfires trying to survive the coldness of the sand. Maybe somewhere near Arizona you still drive those canyon roads, still wear silver crosses round your neck, still sleep with windows open to the cold. I tried escaping all the damage inside brighter city lights, but silence stretches wider under endless desert nights. The moon tonight hangs huge above us, Suddenly, the whole horizon feels too beautiful to survive. Maybe some souls stay connected even after they stop pretending. Morning light floods through the windshield, cactus shadows stretch for miles. Still your memory rides beside me through every lonely state line. If you ever hear this anthem blowing through the western wind, know my soul still drives forever where desert hearts begin. Hotel sign keeps blinking slowly, blue and white against the dark, like a tired constellation trying hard to leave its mark. Room 13 smells like old cigarettes, dust and faded summer heat. There's a television glowing softly with no sound beneath the sheets. Outside the highway stretches endless, cars dissolving into rain. Everybody passing through here looks like they're escaping pain. You stood barefoot near the window, wearing one of my old shirts. Moonlight resting on your shoulders, like silver trying not to hurt. Luna Motel, floating underneath stars, like a lonely little planet, forgotten somewhere beyond Mars. Luna Motel, wrapped in neon afterglow, holding all the hearts too damaged to completely let things go. The ice machine hums in the hallway, like machinery in dreams, and distant thunder rolls above us, soft as unfinished memories. I remember California evenings, cheap wine on the rooftop stairs. You'd smoke slowly while the city lights roadside bars still dance beside old jukeboxes under dusty western stars. I tried forgetting all the details inside brighter city scenes, but memory hides inside strange places, like old songs and motel keys. The moon tonight hangs huge above me, white against the desert blue. And suddenly this empty parking lot feels emotionally full of you. Lunar motel before the sunrise, softly fading into gray, like a dream dissolving slowly at the edge of day. Lunar motel still lives within me long after the road moved on. Maybe some nights become eternal the moment they are gone. Morning light spills through the curtains, coffee brewing down the hall. Still your memory walks beside me, like it never left at all. If you ever hear this anthem floating through the radio blue, know my soul still waits forever inside the lunar motel with you. The shoreline glows beneath the moonlight, soft lavender against the sea. Waves keep folding into silence like secrets no one else can read. They're salt collecting on the windows of the cabin near the pier, and every lantern by the boardwalk feels warmer when you're near. We used to stay awake till sunrise, wrapped in blankets on the sand, listening to distant sailboats disappear beyond the land. You draw shapes across my wristline with cold fingertips at night, while the tide erased our footprints under silver coastal light. Violet coast, breathing slowly with the tide, like a dream the ocean carries somewhere deep beneath the night. Violet coast, shimmering in shades of blue. Every wave returns another memory that still belongs to you. A jukebox plays inside the diner near the harbor after dark. Old love songs and quiet laughter echo underneath the stars. I remember rainy August evenings, driving nowhere down Route 9, windows fogging from the ocean air, your hand resting close to mine. Now the empty passenger seat feels heavier than before, and every lighthouse in the distance looks lonely from the shore. Violet coast, after midnight, turns the water into glass, like the sea itself. near another harbor. You still walk when sleep won't stay. Still stop to watch reflections shimmer at the ending of the day. I tried leaving all the memories inside cities far from here, but the ocean keeps repeating everything I try not to hear. The stars tonight stretch endless over the dark Atlantic blue, and suddenly the entire horizon feels unfinished without you. Violet coast before the sunrise, slowly fading into gold, like the final breath of summer before the nights grow cold. Violet coast still lives within me long after the tide moves on. Maybe certain places keep existing inside the hearts they once belonged to. Morning light floods through the curtains, seabirds cry above the bay. Still your shadow drifts beside me like mist before the day. If you ever hear this anthem floating through the salty wind, know my soul still waits forever where the violet coast begins. White noise flickers through the speakers, blue light flashing in the dark. Every message left unread now feels like sparks against my heart. The apartment smells like rainwater, coffee grounds and overheated wires. Outside the city buzzes softly like exhausted neon fires. I still remember airport terminals, your headphones hanging by your neck. You said distance only mattered when people started to disconnect. But somewhere between all the silence and the endless loading screens, we became two fading signals lost between invisible frequencies. Static romance breaking through the radio waves, like love trying hard to survive inside digital decay. Static romance glitching underneath the night, turning every quiet memory into fractured neon light. The subway rattles under downtown, shaking shadows through the floor, and every vibration reminds me what we don't talk about anymore. Your voice note still lives inside my phone, soft breathing after every phrase. Funny how tiny recordings can completely rearrange your days. The synthesizers swell like thunderstorms through the walls of neighboring rooms. Every bass line sounds like longing dressed in ultraviolet gloom. Static romance after midnight floods the avenue in blue, like every billboard in the city still somehow points back to you. Static romance inside my bloodstream moves like electricity, turning ordinary loneliness into cinematic tragedy. near Seattle, you still ride the midnight train, still watch reflections in the windows blur together with the rain. I tried drowning out the memories inside crowded flashing clubs, but grief survives the loudest places once it learns exactly who you love. The moon tonight above the skyline looks blurred behind electric haze, and suddenly this sleepless city feels suspended between decades. Static romance before the sunrise, softly fading into gray, like the final pulse of static when the signal slips away. Static romance still haunts me long after the screens go dark. Maybe certain souls stay connected through invisible broken sparks. Morning light crawls through the curtains, traffic wakes the avenue. Still your shadow flickers softly in everything I try to do. If you ever hear this anthem floating through the radio blue, know my heart still beats in static, searching endlessly for you. Rainwater drips from fire escapes onto the sleeping avenue. Taxi lights slide across the puddles, painting everything electric blue. A corner store still glowing softly at almost 4 in the morning now. The cashier barely looks awake while silence hangs above the crowd. I pull my jacket tighter, closer, cold wind crawling through the blocks. Every step sounds like a memory, echoing between the clocks. You used to walk beside me here, hands buried deep inside your coat, talking about Brooklyn. You still wander after work, still stop at 24-hour diners when sleeping starts to hurt. I tried escaping all the memories inside louder, brighter scenes, but sadness follows quietly through every subway in between. The moon tonight hangs above downtown, blurred behind the drifting clouds, and suddenly the whole city feels emotionally too loud. Echo streets before the sunrise slowly empty out again, like a stage abandoned quietly after everybody leaves the end. Echo streets still move within me long after the rain is gone. Maybe certain roads stay living inside the hearts that walk them long. Morning light spills through the skyline, steam rising from sewer grates. Still your shadow drifts beside me through these sleepless city days. If you ever hear this anthem floating through the traffic blue, know my soul still walks forever down echo streets with you. Street lamps flicker near the river, pale gold trembling through the fog. The city feels half disappeared tonight, like a dream nobody solved. There's a broken payphone by the corner, still ringing in the rain, and every empty intersection feels haunted by your name. Your black coat hangs beside the doorway, like you might come back somehow. Funny how the mind keeps building ghosts long after goodbye leaves the mouth. I still remember rooftop winters, your breath turning into smoke. You'd stare across the sleeping skyline like you already knew we'd break slow. Phantom lights burning softly through the haze, like forgotten stars surviving inside abandoned alleyways. Phantom lights moving underneath my skin, turning every hidden memory into shadows once again. The piano drifts from some apartment far above the avenue. Every note feels cracked with longing, like it's searching too. The subway groans beneath downtown, shaking windows in the dark, and every distant train reminds me how people drift apart. You once danced beside the kitchen, barefoot at 3 in the morning rain, laughing while thunder split the skyline like we were immune to pain. Now every room near the harbor, you still drive when sleep won't come. Still leave old records spinning softly till the rise of morning sun. I tried escaping all the memories inside louder, crowded scenes, but loneliness survives the noise in invisible frequencies. The moon tonight hangs above downtown, sharp as shattered silver glass, and suddenly this sleepless city feels trapped inside the past. Phantom lights before the sunrise slowly dim beneath the gray, like the final flicker from a theater after everyone walks away. Phantom lights still move within me long after the storm is through. Maybe some hearts keep reflecting the ghosts of what they knew. Morning traffic floods the bridges, steam rises beneath the dawn. Still your shadow walks beside me, like it never fully moved on. If you ever hear this anthem floating through the midnight blue, know my soul still waits forever inside phantom lights for you. The motel sign glows ruby red outside room 23. Rainwater sliding down the windows like old film scenes in black and white to me. There's cigarette smoke in the hallway and jazz humming through the walls. Somebody's laughing in the distance like heartbreak never touched them at all. Your suitcase rests beside the dresser, half unpacked beside the bed. You always look like someone leaving, even when you stayed instead. A slow trumpet drifts through midnight from the lounge across the street, and every lonely note reminds me how fragile people become when they meet. Velvet motel, holding secrets in the dark, like temporary little heavens built for runaway hearts. Velvet motel, wrapped in neon and perfume, turning lonely midnight strangers into ghosts inside one room. The ice machine groans near the staircase, soft static from the TV glows. Outside headlights paint the parking lot in silver rivers flowing slow. I remember desert highways, your boots up on the dashboard light. You sang along to old cassette tapes as thunder rolled. storm feels personal, every silence sharp and blue, and every cheap motel I enter still somehow smells like you. Velvet motel after midnight floats beneath electric skies, like forgotten dreams still drifting behind tired wandering eyes. Velvet motel beside the freeway, where lonely souls stop to hide, teaching broken hearts survival, one restless night at a time. Maybe somewhere near El Paso, you still order bourbon neat, still dance beneath dim ceiling fans, while old soul records repeat. I tried leaving all the memories inside brighter city scenes, but longing hides inside strange places, like old room keys and gasoline. The moon tonight hangs over nowhere, huge and pale against the dark, and suddenly this empty highway feels stitched into my heart. Velvet motel before the sunrise, softly fading into gray, like a cigarette still glowing at the end of yesterday. Velvet motel still lives within me, long after the road moved on. Maybe certain nights stay burning, even after they are gone. Morning light spills through the curtains, coffee brewing down the hall. Still your shadow moves beside me, like it never left at all. If you ever hear this anthem floating through a roadside blue, know my soul still waits forever inside the velvet motel for you. The crimson motel sign keeps buzzing just beyond the pouring rain. Half the letters barely working, like a memory losing shape. The parking lot is almost empty, one old pickup near the fence, and thunder rolls across the desert like a warning from the distance. Room 17 smells like whiskey, dust and faded cigarettes. There's a Bible in the drawer untouched, beside unpaid motel debts. He used to dance beside the mirror, barefoot under neon light, laughing while the storm outside tried swallowing the night. Crimson motel, standing lonely off Route 9, like a sanctuary built for hearts too restless to survive. Crimson motel, wrapped in red electric glow, holding every shattered feeling people never let show. The television flickers softly, old black and white movies play. Some Some actress crying in slow motion at the ending of a rainy day. I still remember Arizona mornings, coffee steam against your lips, the way your hair moved through the desert wind like something impossible to grip. Now every highway feels much colder, every gas station dim and strange, and every song inside the silence feels permanently changed. Crimson motel after midnight floods the room in scarlet haze, like the walls themselves remember every soul that lost its way. Crimson motel near the border, where the canyon shadows fall, teaching lonely hearts survival inside temporary walls. Maybe somewhere near Nevada, you still sleep with lights turned low, still leave half-empty glasses by the window, watching thunderstorms roll slow. I tried burying all the memories inside brighter city lights, but grief stretches much wider across endless desert nights. The moon tonight hangs huge above me, white against the canyon blue, and suddenly this lonely highway feels emotionally full of you. Crimson motel before the sunrise, softly fading into gray, like a cigarette still burning at the edge of yesterday. Crimson motel still lives within me, long after the road moved on. Maybe some places stay forever inside the hearts they touched once. Morning light spills through the curtains, coffee brewing down below, still your shadow rides beside me everywhere the cold winds blow. If you ever hear this anthem floating through the western blue, know my soul still waits forever inside the crimson motel for you. Green light trembles on the mountains like silk moving through the dark. Snowflakes drift across the valley, soft as whispers from the heart. The cabin windows glow behind me, ember fire against the cold, while frozen rivers stretch forever under skies of silver gold. I still remember northern evenings wrapped beneath your heavy coat. You would point toward distant constellations, naming every star you wrote. Your laughter carried through the forest like music rising with the snow. Now silence settles in the branches, everywhere the wild winds blow. Fading aurora, dancing slowly out out here feels ancient, like the earth remembers twice. Your scarf still hangs beside the doorway, faint perfume caught in the thread. Funny how abandoned objects keep unfinished stories breathing yet. The piano drifts through empty hallways like smoke climbing through the air. Every note uncovers pieces of the nights we used to share. Fading aurora after midnight moves above the frozen sea, like celestial rivers carrying all the things we couldn't be. Fading aurora near the tree line paints reflections on the snow, teaching broken hearts surrender to the beauty of letting go. Maybe somewhere near another winter you still wake before the dawn, still watch frost gather on the windows. Long after the stars are gone, I tried escaping all the memories inside louder southern towns, but grief sounds even deeper when the whole world quiets down. The moon tonight hangs pale above me, sharp against the endless white, and suddenly the entire silence feels unbearably alive. Tonight, fading aurora before the sunrise, softly disappearing thin, like the final trace of magic before daylight settles in. Fading aurora still lives within me, long after the colors fade. Maybe some loves become eternal the moment they begin to break. Morning light spills through the valley, snow turns gold beneath the trees. Still your eye moves beside me, like winter carried by the breeze. If you ever hear this anthem floating through the northern skies, know my soul still waits forever where the fading auroras rise. The highway stretches through the valley, silver moonlight on the lanes. Every mile behind me slowly feels lighter than the weight of yesterday. Telephone wires cut the darkness like lines drawn across the sky, and distant headlights drift like comets moving quietly through the night. I still remember coastal mornings, coffee steam beside your face. You'd watch the ocean through the windows like you were searching for escape. Now the passenger seat beside me holds your old denim jacket still. cheer, half asleep there, watching midnight slowly fold. The radio keeps fading in and out, static wrapped around old songs. Every lyric sounds much different now, since I've been driving on alone. I remember rooftop conversations, summer storms above downtown. You said the world looks smaller whenever the rain came down. Silver horizon after midnight floods the canyon in pale light, like the heavens opening quietly above forgotten roads tonight. Silver horizon near the mountains where the cold winds start to rise, turning every lonely memory into something that survives. Maybe somewhere near the coastline, you still walk when sleep won't stay, still leave half-finished books beside the bed at the ending of the day. I tried outrunning all the memories inside louder city scenes, but silence follows gently through every place in between. The moon tonight hangs huge above me, white against the endless blue, and suddenly the entire highway feels emotionally full of you. Silver horizon before the sunrise, softly turning into gold, like a promise slowly waking after nights that felt too cold. Silver horizon still lives within me long after the storm moved on. Maybe healing means continuing even after love is gone. Morning light floods through the windshield, birdsong rising with the breeze. Still your shadow rides beside me like smoke drifting through the trees. If you ever hear this anthem floating through the open blue, know my soul still drives forever towards silver horizons and you. Neon reflections flood the freeway, purple rain against the glass. Motorcycles disappear like ghosts into the midnight overpass. The dashboard glows electric silver, static drifting through the radio. Every station sounds half broken, like emotions nobody shows. You wore dark shades after sunset, silver chains against your skin, and every look across the front seat felt dangerous to fall within. We drove through empty intersections, downtown sleeping under storms. Two lonely hearts pretending briefly we could outrun who we were before. Electric mirage shimmering through the city haze, like a dream made out of lightning, trying not to fade away. Maybe somewhere near Miami, you still dance through crowded bars, still leave lipstick on cigarette tips under glowing rooftop stars. I tried burying all the memories inside louder, brighter scenes, but longing follows quietly through invisible frequencies. The moon tonight hangs over downtown, sharp against the violet clouds, and suddenly the whole skyline feels emotionally too loud. Electric mirage before the sunrise, slowly fading into gray, like a movie ending softly before the final words can play. Electric mirage still lives within me, long after the road moved on. Maybe certain loves stay glowing even after they are gone. Morning light spills through the windshield, traffic wakes the avenue. Still your shadow rides beside me through everything I try to do. If you ever hear this anthem floating through the radio blue, know my soul still drives forever inside electric mirages of you. Blue light flickers through the bedroom from the screen beside my bed. The city hums beneath the window like a machine that never rests. Rain crawls slowly down the glass panes, traffic glowing underneath. Every passing car feels distant, like memories beyond my reach. I still remember airport silence, your suitcase rolling through the hall. You turn what's before the gate closed, like through the curtains, coffee steaming, waking trains. Still your shadow moves beside me, like music flowing through my veins. If you ever hear this anthem floating through the radio blue, know my soul still drifts forever inside blue static with you. The scarlet motel sign is glowing, half alive against the rain. Vacancy letters barely flicker, like a pulse fighting pain. There's thunder rolling through the desert, low beyond the empty road. And every passing truck feels distant, like another soul in overload. Room 21 smells like old whiskey, dust and faded cheap perfume. A television flickers softly, throwing shadows through the room. You stood smoking by the curtains, red lipstick under neon light, looking like a beautiful disaster, trying hard to survive the night. A shelter built from loneliness and unfinished scars. Scarlet motel, wrapped in crimson afterglow, teaching broken people silence before they learn to let things go. The ice machine groans near the hallway, static coming through the walls. Somebody cries behind a doorway, like heartbreak echoes through it all. I remember Vegas thunderstorms, your boots against the dashboard light. You sang old songs out of tune while lightning split the sky apart at night. Now every highway feels abandoned, every diner dim and cold, and every city I pass through feels too young to feel this old. Scarlet motel after midnight floods the parking lot in red, like the ghosts of restless lovers still wandering where they once bled. Scarlet motel beside the freeway, where the desert meets the dark, turning lonely passing strangers into temporary sparks. Maybe somewhere near Tucson you still dance through smoky bars, still leave lipstick on wine glasses beneath forgotten western stars. I tried escaping all the memories inside brighter city lights, but grief stretches much wider across empty desert nights. The moon tonight hangs huge above me, white against the canyon blue, and suddenly the entire silence feels emotionally full of you. Scarlet motel before the sunrise, softly fading into gray, like a cigarette still glowing at the edge of yesterday. Scarlet sunlight spills through the curtains, coffee brewing down below. Still your shadow rides beside me. Everywhere the cold winds blow. If you ever hear this sad phone floating through the western blue, know my soul still waits forever inside the Scarlet Motel for you. The skyline burns in shades of amber as the evening starts to fall. Windows glowing like tiny lanterns across the buildings, tall and small. There's music drifting from the rooftops, laughter floating through the air. For the first time in forever, the city doesn't feel unfair. I'm walking slowly down Broadway, hands tucked deep inside my coat. Cold wind dancing through the traffic while memories begin to loosen their hold. I still remember rainy evenings, crying softly on the train, thinking heartbreak lasted forever, like storms refusing change. Golden skylight shining over all I've lost, like the world keeps turning gently, no matter what the heartbreak costs. Golden skylight stretching wide above the streets, teaching wounded hearts that healing can arrive unexpectedly. A saxophone near the subway entrance plays a melody so warm, and strangers pause for just a moment before continuing on. I remember rooftop conversations, summer thunder overhead. You once said every ending secretly leads somewhere else instead. Now every traffic light feels softer, every avenue less cold, and every scar inside my chest feels lighter than before. Golden skyline after midnight floods the river in golden, like the heavens pouring mercy over restless souls tonight. Golden skyline near the harbor glows against the endless dark, turning lonely city dreamers into fireworks with hearts. Maybe somewhere in another borough you are healing too somehow. Maybe both of us survive things we didn't understand back then. I stopped replaying every silence, stopped searching for who to blame. Sometimes freedom starts the moment you stop holding on to pain. The moon tonight hangs over downtown, bright against the velvet blue, and suddenly the future feels like something beautiful and new. Golden skyline before the sunrise, softly fading into gray, like a promise waiting patiently for another kind. Morning light spills through the station, coffee steam and waking crowds. Still your memory lives beside me, but it no longer pulls me down. If you ever hear this anthem floating through the morning blue, know my soul finally found peace beneath the golden skyline too. City lights fade beneath the clouds as the freeway disappears. The radio hums like distant planets floating through forgotten years. Your old Polaroid beside the dashboard still bends softly at the sides. Frozen smiles beneath July skies from a life we couldn't keep alive. The stars tonight look strangely closer, scattered across the ocean black, like tiny signals searching endlessly for a way to make it back. I still remember rooftop evenings, you tracing constellations slow, saying every lonely person eventually learns where to go. Broken satellites spinning silently through space, like two hearts losing orbit without knowing who to blame. Broken satellites burning softly in the blue, sending ghost transmissions nightly, still searching after you. The synths rise like northern oceans, cold and endless through the dark. Every note feels like a fragment breaking loose inside my heart. A plane cut silver through the heavens, blinking slowly overhead, and suddenly the whole skyline feels suspended by a thread. You once kissed me near the harbor while fireworks filled the air. For a second the entire universe felt smaller standing there. Now every city feels temporary, every crowd fades into smoke, and every conversation sounds thinner than the silence we once broke. Broken satellites after midnight float above the avenue like abandoned little galaxies, still carrying pieces of you. Broken satellites near the shoreline reflect across the sea, teaching lonely souls how distance can become eternity. Maybe somewhere near Chicago you still stare out through the rain, still leave music playing softly to avoid hearing your own pain. I tried burying all the memories inside louder, brighter nights, but grief survives inside the silence between artificial lights. The moon tonight hangs huge above me, white against electric haze. And suddenly the whole world feels too fragile to explain. Broken satellites before the sunrise, slowly fading into dawn, like messages nobody answered long after the senders moved on. Broken satellites still drift within me long after the signal dies. Maybe certain loves keep circling forever through forgotten skies. Morning light floods through the skyline, traffic waking up below. Still your shadow rides beside me, anywhere the cold winds blow. If you ever hear this anthem floating through the cosmic blue, know my soul still drifts forever among broken satellites and you. Snow falls softly on the crosswalk, silver covering the street. Taxi lights blur through the blizzard like distant heartbeats underneath. The subway breathes below the pavement, warm air rising through the cold. Everybody keeps moving quickly like loneliness can't be controlled. I pull my scarf tighter around me, blue neon glowing on the glass. Every storefront feels familiar, like fragments from another past. You used to wait beside the station, hands buried deep inside your coat, steam curling from your coffee cup while old songs drifted through your headphones slow. Winter neon burning through the frozen night, like electric colors trying to keep abandoned hearts alive. Winter neon shining over empty trains, turning every sleepless memory into glittering waves of pain. Synthesizers hum like snowfall, soft and endless through my mind. Every note becomes a shadow of the life we left behind. A lonely saxophone from somewhere echoes down the avenue, and suddenly this crowded city feels emotionally blue. I still remember New Year rooftops, fireworks over the bay. You kissed me while the skyline trembled, like the world might drift away. Now every Still walk when sleep won't stay. Still stop beneath old movie theaters at the ending of the day. I tried escaping all the memories inside warmer southern towns, but grief follows like winter weather, crossing every border down. The moon tonight hangs over downtown, sharp against the stormy haze, and suddenly this sleepless city feels suspended between decades. Winter neon before the sunrise, slowly fading into gray, like a final glowing heartbeat at the edge of yesterday. Winter neon still lives within me, long after the storm moved on. Maybe some loves stay illuminated even after they are gone. Morning light spills through the skyline, coffee steam and waking trains. Still your shadow drifts beside me, like snow melting through my veins. If you ever hear this anthem floating through the winter blue, know my soul still walks forever inside winter neon with you. The carnival closed before midnight. Rainwater pooling near the gate. Broken lights still blinking softly, like they're trying to stay awake. There's a carousel still turning slowly in the empty dark. Painted horses frozen, smiling, while old music falls apart. Cotton candy signs are fading, rust collecting on the rails, and the wind keeps carrying whispers through abandoned ticket trails. You once held my hand too tightly during fireworks in July, laughing while the whole sky shimmered like it never learned goodbye. Shadow carousel, spinning circles through my mind, like forgotten little moments. Time refuses to rewind. Shadow carousel, turning underneath the rain. Every painted light reflection feels stitched into my pain. A lonely speaker near the midway crackles static through the night. Every broken melody sounds like your voice beneath the lights. I still remember summer dresses, your red lipstick in the glow, the way you danced beside the beneath the stormy skies, like a dream abandoned slowly at the edge of childhood night. Shadow carousel beside the shoreline, where the cold winds softly blow, teaching lonely hearts how memories keep spinning long after they go. Maybe somewhere near another city, you still chase neon summer nights, still stop whenever fireworks bloom against the darkness bright. I tried leaving all the memories inside louder modern scenes, but sadness hides inside old places like smoke trapped in movie screens. The moon tonight hangs pale above me, blurred behind the drifting rain, and suddenly the whole fairground feels alive with ghosts again. Shadow carousel before the sunrise, softly slowing into stillness, like a final fading heartbeat lost between the emptiness. Shadow carousel still lives within me long after the lights burn out. Maybe certain loves keep circling even after they leaved out. Morning light spills through the midway, birdsong rises through the gray. Still your shadow rides beside me, like a dream that never fades. If you ever hear this anthem floating through the coastal blue, know my soul still turns forever inside the shadow carousel with you.
Traffic paints the ceiling violet from the avenue below. Every passing siren flickers like memories I can't let go. The apartment hums electric, blue light glowing from the screen. There's a message left unopened from somewhere back in between. I still remember rooftop evenings, summer storms above downtown. You would lean against the railing while thunder shook the buildings down. Your silver rings caught all the lightning, like tiny galaxies in motion. And every word you whispered slowly felt heavier than the ocean. Neon gravity pulling me back into your orbit, like the city bends around us even after everything distorted. Neon gravity keeping your shadow close to mine, like invisible magnetic wires running underneath space and time. A train screams somewhere through the tunnels, shaking glasses in the sink, and every vibration reminds me how fragile people are to lose. I think your jacket still hangs by the doorway, black leather fading at the seams. Funny how abandoned clothing can carry entire worlds inside its sleeves. The synthesizers rise like skylines, cold and beautiful and wide. Every note turns into static, Neon gravity after midnight floods the boulevard in blue. Every reflection in the rain looks temporarily like you. Neon gravity around my heartbeat moves like currents through the dark, turning lonely city evenings into art forms made of sparks. Maybe somewhere near the harbor you still drive when sleep won't come. Still at late night radio stations play until the morning sun. I tried replacing all the silence with louder bars and brighter rooms, but loneliness follows softly like perfume trapped in elevator fumes. The moon tonight hangs over downtown, sharp as glass against the haze, and suddenly the whole skyline feels frozen in another age. Neon gravity before the sunrise, slowly fading into gray, like the afterglow of fireworks long after crowds have walked away. Neon gravity still holds me even after all this time. Maybe certain hearts keep circling long after they stop being mine. Morning light floods through the curtains, coffee, steam, and waking train. Still your memory drifts beside me like music woven through my veins. If you ever hear this anthem floating through the radio blue, know my soul still falls forever inside neon gravity with you.